This is Measurement Where. I'm Kostya. I've spent more than 10 years working on one problem, making marketing measurement actually work. Today I'm joined by Adrian Ćwikła, Head of Digital Marketing at Conectys, a global B2B customer experience outsourcing company operating across EMEA, APAC, and the Americas. We are going to unpack how a marketing tracking stack actually works inside a B2B services business, which is completely different animal from SaaS or e-commerce measurement. Adrian, welcome.
Hello, nice to meet you. Nice to meet everyone listening to the podcast.
Thank you. Give us the 60-second picture of Conectys. What kind of clients? What's the marketing motion?
So, in short, Conectys is a BPO, business processing outsourcing company, now transitioning into BTO, business transformational outsourcing. And it has everything to do with helping external businesses with helping them with managing their customers, whether it's like a customer service, the old-fashioned call center, and all shapes and forms in between, content moderation, managing groups of people like players, gamers on the gaming platforms, as well as data annotation. So everything which might help different businesses with operating with the clients and the data.
Thank you. How big is the marketing team? Is it geographically distributed or centralized somewhere?
No, it's to be fair, it's fairly fairly small marketing team, which like is in a different locations. We work remotely. It will be at different times. It will be less than 10 people altogether. So we manage the whole operation for the company. I mean, you have to divide between lead generation, and this is something which I'm involved in, and also because it's like a company spread across a few continents. You also have like quite a big effort when it comes to the internal marketing, like branding, but that's a different story. I deal with the lead generation and increasing the quality of what's coming into the pipeline.
Awesome. As we already touched the scope of your role, can you tell us specifically what is it about, what falls on your desk every week?
Yeah, so I joined the company predominantly as the ads specialist and person who's involved in the analytics. And from there, I evolved into almost everything connected to the lead generation goal. So I'm the head of digital marketing, which involves connecting all of the dots and all of the channels available to bring in the future clients. So whether it's paid platforms, SEO activities, organic content, I try to tie everything together to produce the value. And probably we'll talk about it a bit later, but as you know, like the marketing in today's day and age is multi-channel for sure, and like focusing on the one way of doing marketing is nothing. So you have to do everything in between, connect the dots, use different channels and different platforms on different steps of the funnel. So that makes it a bit more complex. And also, as I said at the beginning, my company deals with sort of different ways of service, as well as data. So each service we offer involves slightly different channels and approach.
For sure, the concept of connecting the dots is very appealing and comprehensive. Walk me through the marketing measurement stack at Conectys today. What's the actual architecture of the first click to close one deal?
I would say that the structure itself, it's fairly simple, as the model itself is simple. It's bringing the quality representatives of different companies willing to have a meeting with us, with the people who deal with them. And because like the solutions for the people, for the future clients are very tailor-made, everything everything comes, everything important happens during the meetings. So essentially, my role is to get the right kind of person to schedule a meeting, and that's the gist of it. And it's fairly simple to measure it through the performance of the website, but most predominantly just the sign up form and good old schedule a meeting. And we do it through the Google stack. We've tested different set of tools. We use HubSpot as our brain for all of the operations. But when it comes to the tracking, I would say that the core of it would be the good old Google Stack, Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, everything connected to HubSpot. And you mentioned the first click. This is what gets tricky, because obviously in my world is that many times the companies who are actively looking for an outsourcing partner, like my company or others, they just have lists of 10, 20, maybe more companies. They do the shortlist. It's a quite lengthy process from the idea that, we need an outsourcing partner, to even like signing up for a meeting, because obviously competition is fierce as well. So the tricky part is to measure and see who's even visiting our website and which companies. And given the fact that in European Union you've got quite complex rules and regulations, that makes it more complex for marketers like me, just to see who is visiting us, who is reading our materials, but not taking action on the website. So I would say that's the most difficult part. Later on, from the people who are interested, it's fairly easy, and this is everything I described earlier.
All right. So that's the biggest complexity and where it sits in your niche. What about attribution, lead quality, scoring, pipeline velocity? How do you measure all of that? Do you have specific tools for that, or everything lives in HubSpot?
Yeah, I would say that we've got more processes than tools, and that has been a big part of like internal communication between sales and marketing, because we are trying to use branding, messaging, communication, thought leadership, just to see through the potential clients and attract the right caliber. We are trying to be as specific as possible in our communication, just to tell that we are for you, not for the other person. However, once someone gets into the system, this is up to the SOPs, procedures, and like a proper pipeline where at each level we are measuring who's qualified enough to go to the next step.
Clear. When you stepped into the head of digital marketing role, what was the first thing in the measurement stack that needed to change?
Good question. I would say that it would be getting more sophisticated when it comes to the measuring performance on the website, on particular pages, on landing pages. Because as I said, it's not like e-commerce when you get pretty easily a lot of data to learn on. So you have to sort of think in advance. So, okay, you've got the X number of leads coming in each week, each month. But the question I asked myself was, so what's going on with the people who didn't pull the trigger? So that was like creating a set of events, measurements, and reports based around the behavior on the website. Measuring and checking heat maps, click-through journeys, and such. Just to observe within the structure of the website, what's the flow, and how can we change and improve the flow.
That sounds impressive, like very sophisticated system to find out more about people who didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, I mean, it helps, but you'll never see the full picture, as you know. And to me, what's interesting is that it allowed me to look from the bird's eye perspective on the website as a whole. Because okay, we started from asking the questions, oh, what's going on with the people who who didn't take an action on the landing page, but then we started, do we have the right amount of landing pages? Maybe we need to dissect it more and like be more specific on what we offer at each page. Then maybe we should add some more pages to inform that this is the offer for this enterprise business, and that is the offer for the more of a startup. So it led me thinking about just changing the whole structure of the website, and we did it when we are performing the rebranding process with the company.
Tell me about one specific situation where the data was telling you one thing, but reality was telling you something else. How did you figure out which was the right direction to dwell into?
First thing which comes to my mind is that back in the day, we dealt with, we were testing creating a set of different landing pages who were appealing to different countries, European countries. So the offer was tailored to each country, and at first glance, you would say that it was a failure because you had a really low traffic. Really, the copy on the pages could have been like improved massively. However, when I created a dedicated set of reports just to measure that, and I looked into it a bit more, it happened that they did perform. So for the like small cost of creating them, and it was really like just time, no extra budget involved, they brought some leads, and I thought to myself, oh, I didn't see it without the reports I created. After like 15 or more months, I collected all the data, and it happened that some of them they did convert, and I thought to myself, what could have happened if I was really on point with them, on point with copy, with everything. I'll do all bells and whistles, and make them the proper way, which also led me to thinking and to question every new tool which is advertised to us as marketers. And I'm playing with the idea that some of the old school tactics are still relevant, and
Yeah.
and probably because they are not marketed as the new tools, they are not sexy. We tend to forget about them, but the fundamentals are still relevant. That's why I think that, contrary to many beliefs that SEO is dead, things like that you can read on LinkedIn, I would think the other way around. I think that the content is really important. I'm well aware of the AI slump and everything like that. However, if you do it properly, you can still hit all of the niches relevant to your business.
100% agree.
Awesome. Yeah.
I know you've been implementing very actively AI tools into the marketing processes, and that's what I read on your LinkedIn very frequently. When the measurement and reporting workflow is AI actually saving time, and where have you tried it and pulled back?
I try to use AI to to the fullest capability of what AI is useful for, which is like creating patterns and connecting the dots, as we mentioned at the beginning. So I use it mostly for just analyzing large quantities of data and trying to find patterns with that data. That being said, the more I use AI, the more I get not skeptical but cautious. I clearly see the limitations, be it the individual models or the new tools. So I tend to hesitate when I see a new tool before I test it. And things like, oh, we add a new chatbot, you can talk to your data. I'm not appealed to that anymore. I try to do it on my own. So I try to export the data from particular reports. I just like to create constraints on my own on what particular scope of data I want to work on that particular day. And I also use AI connected with automation. So for example, some reports are fed into AI, and I've got like the brief, like a bird's eye view on the situation when I start the week. So yeah.
AI gives you the visibility.
Yeah, AI gives me the visibility and saves time on just see different patterns. And also I'm conscious of like human brain has its limits, and it helps me to like analyze more data faster. So this is where I try to use it to find patterns and also to check myself where are the blind spots. Because also, as I said, our team is fairly small, so we don't always have someone else to like cross-reference the facts and opinions. And I try to validate my points, argue with myself using AI to make better decisions.
A good stress testing solution.
Yeah. And I think somebody said, I think it's a Polish physicist, Andrzej Dragan, who said that AI is perfect for like creativity, because it tends to, like, if you tell it invent 10 things to use this tool with, it will invent it right away. So that's the one solution. And the second, as I said, pattern matching. So I try to use it to the fullest.
All right, good luck you with that. Who consumes the marketing measurement data inside Conectys, and what do they actually do with this data further?
Good question. So I do it on the operational level. I consume the data to see how the whole engine works and what can we do from the marketing standpoint to make it better. Obviously, on the sales side, that will be the sales people who are involved in the process of qualification, moving the leads through the pipeline. They need a different kind of data to proceed with the process. And I also prepare the data which is needed by the management to have like the strategic view on how to choose the direction for the future. So it goes like step by step. I have pretty wide pool of data, and then I prepare and do the things with the data, redesign it, reshape it into the reports particular managers need for their day-to-day job.
Is it more in the format of ad hoc requests, or you have kind of static dashboards to monitor some metrics?
I try to regulate and process everything to turn it into like a dashboard and static information. I know that they are ad hoc requests, but at the same time, some things never change, and there are some entry points which are always there when you start your analytics. So yeah, I try to systematize everything because it saves time, saves effort. And the most important thing is to agree on what exactly do you want and what exactly will help you to make the decisions. Because it's so easy to get overwhelmed with the pieces of information.
Exactly.
I love the saying one of the Italian football coaches once said, that after a football match, you've got like over 100 different pieces of stats you can analyze. But to like improve on that, you only need like 2 or 3 crucial ones. And he only reads like 2 or 3 things after the match to know how to make it better in the future.
Yeah, that's just about main convoy and the narrative and the details which make the context around it.
Yeah. It always makes me laugh when people say something like, "Oh, I love the numbers." Awesome.
Which numbers?
Yeah, I love the right numbers.
Yeah, that's the right framing for that. A tricky question. In a B2B services company, marketing is often seen as a cost center rather than a revenue engine. How does your measurement stack help shift that perception, or doesn't it?
Yeah, a tricky question indeed. I think it comes down to understanding. And within B2B companies, especially the bigger ones, data is crucial to help educating other departments and other people, to help showing how the funnel can become complex. And even in the situations when the funnel is pretty straightforward, how many things are involved into the process to let someone choose you over somebody else. So within the organization, the correct measurement helps to explain the situation and paint the picture. Because without data, whatever a marketer says could be thought that it's like just BS or they invent things. While many times we don't have answers, but with data we can like create models of what is working, what is not, and even data is helpful to explain that this is something what we can measure, but other areas are outside our our things we can do. So yeah, it's crucial. I would say it's like a language. It's like knowing a foreign language. You can communicate better. Same with proper measurement and numbers. You can just communicate better with the decision makers and yourself, to be honest.
So data allows to move the needle in this evergreen argument about whether it's a cost center or it's investment, and whether this function is useful or not.
Yeah, but I think you always find people that they will think that the marketing is just it's just cost. But I've seen it in both like small, medium, and big businesses. Other thing is that different business need to use marketing in a different way. So, for example, I had a conversation with one of the chief revenue officers from one of the companies in Poland, and his view on marketing is that it's almost like the SQL's generating machine. So they in his view they should bring almost ready client on a plate, while others would say that marketing is like a supportive role for the sales. So every department, every team is different. Problem is when you're siloed. And I remember we had many conversations about that the real problem is that when everyone is separated from each other.
Yeah, for sure. We need more. We actually need more CROs with marketing background to hit those silos and break the walls.
Yeah, definitely. And also, many times people think from outside, at least I've got a few experiences like that marketing is that one solution, like you just apply ads and it solves the problem, or you just do this instead of that. And I've seen it. It's funny because I've seen it in many different sizes of businesses. Why really, I would say, usually the process is that, okay, our hypothesis is that let's do A, not B. Then we don't have the desired results, so let's try something else. And then we try and try. And it's almost like experimentation.
Yeah, that's the path.
That's the path, but many people they think it's just like straightforward. It's like a switch. You turn it on, turn it off, and everything works.
Yeah, that's the hardest part to explain, in my opinion. Again, that's where the data helps a lot, but slow education moves the needle.
Yeah, for sure.
If a head of marketing at a B2B services company listens to this and wants to make one change to their measurement stack next week, what should it be?
To look deeply into what they already have, because with things like Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager, you can really do a lot more than you are currently doing. Don't go outside and research for the tool yet, because you've got many options to explore within your current ecosystem. That's what I would say. And before going into measurement, think about the behavior. I mean, ultimately, it comes down to a human who, for some reason, goes to your website or goes to your social media accounts and does particular things. And obviously, measurement is a big part of the equation because it lets you see whether something is performing or not. But also, it's like an invitation to think about all different aspects of marketing, like branding, like the voice, the communication, the copy, what you do, the visuals, if it's all aligned. So think about the behavior and to which extent you can measure that behavior within the tools and the tool tech stack you already have. So that would be my piece of advice. And because many things, especially in the bigger organizations, are hard to process because it's like a long-term, step-by-step thing to implement, and you have to almost start a journey just to learn about the behavior, about everything you can do. So yeah, there are many available free tools just to give you the gist on where you should go with the measurement.
To all the digital and not digital marketers listening to us, no need to reinvent the wheel. Adrian just confirmed that. So just question the basic principles, be smart using the basic things, and read between the lines of the data you can get from those tools.
Yeah. And I mean, it comes down to the seasons. So it's like the season of maximizing of what you already have and what you can do, and there is a season of testing and like exploring new things, new paths. But to do that, you have to have your own internal KPIs of what is the level when you are happy with the performance of your marketing and the tools you've got. So it will be like KPIs within KPIs of what are the checks and balances within your system, so you're happy or not happy, and what you will do next. So yeah.
Awesome. Adrian, thanks for coming on. I would share the link on your LinkedIn profile in the description to the video on YouTube. Please contact Adrian if you want to learn more about what he does and how he does. Also, subscribe to his profile because he's really writing cool things about AI and their implementation into the marketing daily workflows. If you found this useful, the best thing you can do is share it with one person in your team who'd find it relevant. See you soon in the next episode. Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you. See you later.
See you. Bye.